Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be making this beautiful dress of the last video I made. I could not film the process of making that dress, but I'm still making the same style with the same pattern we drafted in the last video. So this is the center and the side piece for the front. I've already ironed an ST and wadding to it. The wadding is stopping at the place where the curve is stopping on the fabric. So I'm going to start joining them from the down parts to the up parts. So I'm done joining the three pieces for the front together, and this is what is looking like. So I'm going to open it like this and notch the center. After notching, you can go ahead to iron it flat. So this is the yoke, this is the main piece and the fabric. So I'm going to join both of them together and I'm going to sew the neck round. So I'm done doing that, so I'm going to notch it round as well so that it will be balanced. Then I'm going to turn it to the right side. So I'm going to top stitch this part on a straight line. So I'm going to fold the center piece into two equal halves and I'm going to notch the center. I'm also going to notch the center of the yoke. After notching it, I'm going to place the right side of the yoke on the right side of the center piece like this. Then I'm going to start sewing it from this center to the other end. Then I'll sew this side to the other end. I'm doing this so that it will be equal on both sides. So this is the lining piece I'll be using. I cut out the lining piece exactly the way the fabric is, and I'm going to join it as well the way I joined the center fabric. So I'm going to join it like this, the three pieces together, and I'm going to start sewing from the down side to the up side. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side after pinning it together. So I'm done attaching the yoke to the center piece, and this is what is looking like. So now I'm going to turn it to the wrong side. This is what the inside is looking like. Now I'm going to fold it back like this and I'm going to place my lining piece on it. Before I do that, I'm going to notch the center of the lining piece. After notching it, I'm going to place the right side of the lining piece on the right side of the fabric like this, and I'm going to start sewing from the center to the other end, and I'm going to sew the other side as well and turn it over to the right side. So this is the back piece and this is the yoke for the back piece. If you have not seen the pattern drafting of this video, I will advise that you go check it out before seeing this one. So I'm going to turn the neckline of the yoke like this is the main piece and the lining. I'm going to turn the neckline of both yokes. So I'm done turning the neckline of the yoke with the lining piece. I turned the neckline and I turned it over to the right side and top stitch the bottom. So I'm going to attach it to the other piece of the back like this. But before you do this, you can go ahead and take in your dart before attaching your yoke to this other part. I forgot to do that for mine, so I'm going to join it on a straight line like this. So I'm done attaching the lining piece to the center piece, and this is what is looking like. So that part where I joined it together, I'm going to trim it off a bit and iron it down so that it will be balanced. So this is the back piece. I'm done attaching the yoke to it and this is what is looking like. So now I'm going to turn it with my lining piece. So I'm going to bring in the lining and I'm going to fold the fabric like this, and I'm going to place the right side of the fabric on the right side of the lining, and I'm going to turn it on a straight line at the top first. Then I'm going to turn the two sides as well, but I'm not going to touch the bottom and the armhole area. So I'm done turning the lining piece, and I turned it over to the right side. So I joined the zip allowance because I forgot to take in my darts earlier. I'm going to just take it down at the top. So I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement from after my zip allowance, which is 4 inches. Then from the top I'm going to come down by 7 inches, and I'm going to connect that 7 inches to the 4 inch. I'm going to connect it like this on a straight line. The width I'm using is 4 inches, my nipple to nipple. So I'm going to go in by half an inch on both sides of the that line, and I'm going to connect it together like this. And I'm going to go to my machine and stitch it like this. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side as well. So I'm going to notch the center so that I will know where that is starting at the other side of the back, and I'm going to trace the rest there. So for the sleeve, this is the fabric for the up part. I'm going to run a gather stitch on both the up and the down part. So this is the fabric I'll be using for the down part of the sleeve. I've already turned it with a lining piece, so this is what it's looking like. So I've run the gather stitch on both the up and down part, and I've gathered it already. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the down part of the sleeve, then I'm going to gather this on it. But before I do that, I'm going to open up the down parts like this and check the width. Whatever width I have there, I'll make sure that the gather stitch is enough or is the same width to fit into the place. So from the beginning of my gather stitch like this, I'm going to place the two right sides of the fabric on each other first. Then from the beginning of my gather stitch for like 1 inch, I'll make sure there is no gather there, so that when I'm going to close it up, is that part will be smooth. So I'm going to pin it down, then I'm going to allow the gather from this other side. From that 1 inch, I'm going to allow the gather, and I'm going to pin it down. When I get to the edge, that is the last part of it, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give 1 inch also and make sure there is no gather there. I'm done pinning it down, so I'm going to run a straight stitch on it. So this is the dress. I'm done attaching the half length to the skirt part of this dress. I took in the darts for both the skirt and the half length, and this is what is looking like. So now I've joined the two shoulders together. Now I want to attach my sleeve to it. So I'm going to open up the armhole area like this, and this is the sleeve. So I'm going to give 1 inch as well, what I did for the down part of the sleeve. I'm going to give 1 inch, and I'm going to pin it down. Then I'm going to sew the rest to the other edge also. Then I'm going to give 1 inch. So I'm going to attach the sleeve to it like this. Then I'm going to run a straight stitch. So I'm done attaching both sleeves, and this is the finished look of the gown. Thank you guys for watching this video.